if you don't mind me asking, please, you can tell me to stop if this is a bit too much, but how was the whole Dio experience with him getting cancer? How was that for you?
Yeah, so the last tour was, I had to get shoulder surgery from playing the drums. I had these drums up in the air and I had to hit them backwards and forward and it just killed my shoulder. So I couldn't raise my arm up. And then Ronnie had cancer, he didn't know it, and he would be, and Tony had tendonitis in his hands. So before the show, you know, the intro tape's playing, we're going on in like a minute, and my shoulder hurts. Tony's going, my hand, you know, it's really hurting today. Ronnie go, man, I got gas. You know. Then we go out and kick ass. Because the adrenaline kicks in, you don't feel any of that. So, you know, he went out and sang his heart out. And you never knew he could be that seriously sick singing the way he sang, you know. And then when we found out, it was just, you know, heartbreaking. It's like, wow. And then everything after that was just, that was a hard time. And now to hear about Tony, yeah, so I'll keep my fingers crossed. Tony.
But I hear he's doing better now.
Yeah, I heard from what I heard a lot of the same stuff everyone else heard, and supposedly he's doing, you know, better, and they caught it, and he'll be out. You know, just take time to heal up. So,
wish him
all the best for Tony.
Yes, absolutely. What I'm curious about, because there isn't very much information about this, but between the last Heaven and Hell album and Dio being diagnosed with cancer, were there any plans coming up for the future?
Well, we were supposed to do some dates in the summer of 2010, and that's when Ronnie was getting chemo in January, and we were planning on it, you know, and Ronnie wanted to do it. He even called me up one day and said, you know, Vin, I want to get together with you, me, and Geese, because Tony's in England, we're all in California, and play. Cool, but that never happened, you know. So then as time went on, we could see there's no way. You know, the chemo knocked the hell out of Ronnie. You know, he's this little guy, small, he didn't have a lot of weight on him, and, you know, trying to just deal with that stuff, man. Yeah, it whacked him. And he was doing good for a while, and then it just took over, you know. So there was a plan to do that and another album.
And after Dio's passing, were there any plans at all, or were you guys kind of just saying, okay, we're going to take it easy for a little bit?
Well, there weren't any plans, but Tony said, you know, we'll do something. Tony was saying we would do something, and then we did a show in 2010 at in the summer of 2010 at the I forgot what it was, High Voltage Festival in England, and the money went to Ronnie's Cancer Fund.
Okay.
And then we played together with Glenn Hughes singing, and Jon from Norway, he sang too. Kind of sounds like a Ronnie singer, you know. And that's all we did. And then, you know, we didn't discuss it any further, and then, you know, it was nothing. So I knew that was going to happen. How are you going to go on with replacing Ronnie?
Yeah, it wouldn't feel right?
It didn't feel right, and then, you know, Ronnie's such a great singer. The only way it would have worked to get somebody known in the band and just call it whatever, and Rob Halford in and call it Heaven and Hell 2 or something, you know. Just go out and play all the songs that people want to hear. But that was talked about too, Rob Halford, but that didn't happen.
So moving on from that, I understand that you and your brother are participating in, I forget the name of it. But
Drum Wars.
Drum Wars. What can you tell me about that?
Drum Wars is something we put together. We put a video out like years ago, and we wanted to play together. We never had time, so now we finally put it together. And now we got it pretty honed in as a rock show, pretty much. We open up, the drums are facing each other like this, like a battle, and we open up with some drum duets that we wrote, you know, really cool, just drums. Then we bring on a band, and we play some Dio, Sabbath, and then we do another drum little piece, and then we bring the band back, and Carmine does some of his songs at the end, and then we play together on a couple songs, which is crazy, and at the end we just build it up to this really crazy battle, and it's just a cool show. People come away and go, wow, I've never seen anything like that before. So it's not really been done in rock, you know. It's like more done in the jazz world, or like years ago it was Buddy Rich, Gene Krupa, the drum battles and stuff. But this is with, music too. So we call Drum Wars the music of Vinny and Appice. We're going to be in Europe next month too, doing a couple of gigs, and then we'll go back at the end of the summer.
So I'm just curious about the battle part of this Drum Wars. Is it literally more or less a competition between you and your brother? Like, hey, this is my style versus your style, or is it just kind of like, okay, I did this, now let's see what you got?
Yeah, it's more of a battle. We'll battle it out, and then there's things that he does that I can't do, and there's things that I'm faster, I'll do this, and I know he can't do it. I'll go, and he'll do it, and he'll stumble, and I'll do it again, trying to get it out of him, his weak point, And it's a battle. It's a battle.
So there's definitely some of that sibling rivalry in there, isn't there?
Yeah, you gotta have it. Otherwise, there'll be no fire.
When you were growing up, was there a lot of that at all, or like was he picking on you?
There's none of that off stage. We show each other things, He goes, "What's that? That's this," and, help each other out and stuff.
So on stage is just for shits and giggles, essentially.
It's just the fire comes out on stage. It's survival battle mode, It's like that's the way it is.
What inspired the Drum Wars, anyways?
Well, we wanted to play together, and we started it off. We put a tape out, VHS tape. It was back in the '80s. We filmed an MIT gig in LA, and then we started doing interviews, and then I started joking around, and he started joking around, so there's a lot of humor in it, and we put this whole thing together. It's more of a comedy tape, actually. And then we did a couple of clinics together, about 10, no, not even 10, about 5 clinics for Sabian, and that was the only time we played together. It's like two brothers in known bands, and we never played together, so we better do it now, while we can still walk.
Do you think there'll ever be any plans for putting out CDs of these Drum Wars?
A CD? Yeah, we're actually talking about it now. Maybe to write some songs and put some cool tunes together with a lot of drums in it,
If there's any words of wisdom, some piece of advice, or even just like a general knowledge or something you just want to say, by all means, the camera's all yours and spit it out there.
About music or?
About music, about life, about dreams, goals, anything that comes to mind.
Well, you gotta go with what's in your heart, what you feel, and you gotta believe in yourself, and you gotta go for it. And there are going to be ups and downs, and you just gotta deal with it and stick with it and make it work. And then if it doesn't work, you go, you know what, I did the best I could, and then you move on. But if it does work, then you start building a career out of it. It's a hard business. Music is not easy, and but once you I've been lucky all my life. I played music. I didn't have to go to work and get up in the morning, and I did have to get up in the morning, but to play drums or travel somewhere, So, but you got to believe in yourself and play from your heart.
Our last little tangent, because I find it's very much related. What about family values? Because you had a big brother that you looked up to and that you worked with to get you where you are today. What can you say about that?
Yeah, family is important. If it wasn't for my parents, okay, and Carmine said, I want to play drums, and they went, okay, and they helped them. My father used to put the drums in the car and take them to a gig, and there were other cousins we had that played drums, and their last name, ironically, was the same last name. And their parents said, well, if you're going to play drums, you have to go to college and fall back on something. So that's what they did, and they fell back on what they did, because they took those years of going to college. Those were prime years of 18 going crazy with music and going out there and trying it. Whether you're starving or whatever, those are the years to probably do it. After college, you're already in your mid-20s, and then you're going to try to do it. You lost some years there, But their parents was not really that supportive. So it's really my parents. And then when I came along, I'm 11 years young, I said, hey, I want to play drums too. Okay, And they were cool about it. My mother used to take me to drum lessons when I was 10. She used to take me on 2 city buses every Saturday. One bus, then wait for the next bus, and then walk 4 blocks to go to drum lessons. So, that's supportive, So the family's very important. And then, if you're married or your girlfriends or whatever, when you're a musician, you go on the road. So people got to understand what you do in families, But a lot of people think that, oh, wow, you're going to South America. That's so unbelievable. What a life. Yeah, then we got stuck at the airport and had to sleep in a chair for 8 hours because the plane got delayed, and then we didn't get in until late, and then we had to hop on this boat and go play on a cruise. We didn't sleep, so people don't realize all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. But it's fun. That's my niece and nephew.
Hi.
Hello.
Erica and Curtis. Yeah. She's a star hockey player. She's the star hockey player. She's unbelievable. She's got a scholarship next year. She's kicking ass, that girl.
What do you play?
Pardon?
What do you play?
Where do you play?
Forward, mid to double A.
She's a star player.
What do you do?
He used to play. Now he's just getting out of school. You going to college?
Yeah, next year.
He was playing. He was going to play drums for a little bit, but
Drums are running pretty rampant in your family.
it's that primal thing.
Gotta get away.